Shalom Avracha. This evening we study here in Yerushalayim, Yer HaKodesh, Parashat Eikev. The weekly study session of the parasha deals with an explanation and a description of a possibility of a spiritual failure that may be the result of great success in the land of Israel. Now we know that we're always praying and hoping and aspiring for God's blessings, especially in the Holy Land. We do hope and we do feel that God blesses the Jewish nation and will bless the Jewish nation, especially in the land of Israel. But the Torah speaks in our parasha about a particular possible result that may follow the great blessings of God. And I'd like to read a few sentences with you and discuss how exactly we should protect ourselves against this type of sin. Pentochal v'savata, lest you eat and you will be satisfied. Everything will be going well. You'll be satiated. Uvatim tovim tivneh v'yashavta. You'll have the most beautiful homes. You'll build glorious mansions, palatial dwelling places, and you'll be able to settle there. Uvekarcha b'tzoncha yirbiyun, and you'll have a great blessing in your livestock. Your businesses will be booming. V'chesef v'zahav yirbelach, and you'll have the blessing of affluence. V'chol asher l'cha yirbeh, and everything connected to you will increase. That's wonderful. However, there's a certain spiritual danger at that particular moment in life. And what is that? That perhaps, God forbid, if everything is going so well, instead of realizing that the source of the food and the source of the homes and the source of the income and the source of the blessing and the source of the health is God, Viram levavecha, your heart will grow haughty. You'll become arrogant. You'll become conceited. V'shachachta et Hashem Elokecha, and the very blessings of God may cause you to forget God. V'shachachta et Hashem Elokecha, and you will forget the source of your blessings. So the rabbis say, where in the Torah do we find the prohibition of being arrogant? Now, there are those who feel that, generally speaking, there's no legislation of character traits in Torah. Generally, there's more of an emphasis placed on actions. But our text says, be careful, because you may forget God. Just a few sentences before that we read, Hishamer lecha, sentence 11 of the same chapter. Hishamer lecha, pen tishkach et Hashem Elokech. Be careful not to forget God. And how could you forget God? Sometimes, as a result of so many different levels of great blessings in your life, a person can lead themselves to forgetting God. And they can grow arrogant. Viram levavecha. Your heart will become, boastful. You'll become arrogant and conceited. Because maybe you'll feel you don't need God. And I think the Torah definition of haughtiness, the Torah definition of ga'ava, of a Baal ga'ava, of someone who's arrogant. What does it mean to be arrogant from a Torah point of view? Well, I think that on some level, ga'ava is the opposite of anava, is the opposite of humility. So what does it mean to be humble? We have studied together on more than one occasion that humility does not mean not recognizing that which is happening in a positive way. It's silly for the top musician of the world in his state or her state of humility to say that they know nothing about music. That's not humility. That's silliness. they're the number one musician, internationally renowned. If you have a scientist who has just, been awarded the prize for science, humility does not mean I don't know anything in science. Humility doesn't mean if you have a Torah scholar who's published, monumental works which are read and studied all over the world. Doesn't mean he should say, well, I don't know anything. It means, according to some schools of thought, that whatever blessing you're experiencing, whatever level of excellence, whatever level of success, you understand that the source of the success is God. That's anavah. It's not you. How did you get the power to accomplish that? From where did you get the resources to do that? You think you're just an artist because you woke up one morning or because you took many courses in art school? Do you recognize the God element in the fact that your business now is the number one business in the world? Or do you think it's, well, I worked very hard at it. I'm very creative. My mind is so great that I developed this product which is being consumed and being purchased all over the world. So it seems that ga'ava, it seems that a level of arrogance means that a person pushes God out of the scene, removes God from their existence. Because if everything is going so well, who needs God? Who sees God? And in our Torah section, our very Torah section,
or if something is going so bad.
Well, there are two possibilities. That's right. There are two possibilities. There are those people who forget God. I think that's the reference in our parasha. Later on in Parashat Eikev, we read the second of the parashiot of Shema. We have three sections of the Shema reading. The first one was in last week's parasha of Hanan. That's the section called Shema. In this week's section, in Parashat Eikev, if you're interested, it's in chapter 11, from verse 13 and on. We have the section called V'haya im Shamoa, the second section of the Shema, which is considered very significant. We're familiar with it from the daily recitals, from the sections of our study, from the various religious the tefillin, Shema, V'haya im Shamoa, the major sections of our religious objects have the section of V'haya im Shamoa. What does it say there? In response to your comment, it says that you're supposed to say Shema uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha. You're supposed to say Shema when you're lying down and when you get up. Literally, it means, when you lie down and when you get up, the rabbis understand it means in the nighttime, at night, and during the day. Right? Uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha. That's why we say Shema at night in the evening prayer, which I hope to be saying in a few minutes. And in the morning prayer, right? We say Shema twice. But on a conceptual level, it means that you're supposed to say Shema twice at two different kinds of occasions in your life. Let's say you're lying down. It means, let's say you're down and out. B'shach b'cha, you feel helpless. You feel that nothing's happening. Nothing's going in the right way. You feel that in your own life it's very, very dark. I'm not talking about the darkness outside now. I'm talking about the darkness in your existence. So some people feel, as Michael just said, some people feel, I can't talk to God now. Where is God in my life? I don't see God in my life. Say Shema means don't forget God when it's dark. Even if you're lying down, even if you don't have the energy to sit up, even if you can't stand up, even if you can't go anywhere, if you can't go anything, you can't move, you can't advance, say Shema. So unfortunately, there are people who forget God in the evening part, in the dark parts of their life. But the next word is equally as important. Uvkumecha. And when you rise, when you stand up, say Shema also then. Also say Shema when you're standing. Also say Shema when the sun is shining in your life, as is described in our parsha. And you're looking at your analysis of your current existence, and you're studying, your portfolio of success, and everything is wonderful, and the sun is shining brightly in your life. So a person could, God forbid, think, I don't have to say Shema now. What do I need God for? Everything I have all the houses, Tochal v'savata batim tovim tivneh v'yashafta v'karcha v'tzoncha kesef v'zahav kol asher l'cha yirbeh. Who needs God? Uvkumecha, recite the Shema. Don't become arrogant. Stay away from viram levavecha. Stay away from this terrible spiritual downfall of arrogance. You know, we read that it's an abomination in the eyes of God, all people who are conceited. To'avat Hashem. To'avat, a disgusting abomination. Now, there's some people, whenever they hear the word abomination, you know, they associate it with very major sins of Judaism. It's rare to find that it's not only an abomination in the eyes of God. And all those who criticize should understand that arrogance, that conceit is called an abomination. To'avat Hashem, kol gevale. It's an abomination before God. Anyone who's so arrogant. We pray together that as we study Parashat Eikev, where we are warned and taught about how careful we have to be, that no matter what's happening in our life, especially in the successes of our life, we should never ever cut God out. We should always be ever present in our awareness and in our association with the source of all of our blessings. We hope that will be the message that we study in Parashat Eikev. Thank you so much for listening.